Last week, I had a billboard in the middle of Times Square for an entire week. Bro, that's my face on a billboard. So, as one does, I flew to NYC to check off a bucket list item and see the billboard in person. The billboard was put up in collaboration with a brand called Linktree, highlighting 4 photographers that use their platform, and I was lucky enough to be a part of the campaign. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around it, but I can say it was an insane feeling. A feeling I wanted to try to share through a video here on the channel.
I still can't get over it.
After writing a few scripts, nothing was really hitting the point I wanted to get across. The billboard was obviously insane, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity. But the story I think I really wanted to share is a story about confidence. More specifically, a story about my experience with confidence. Confidence is a weird thing. It's something you never really notice until it's taken away from you. It's sort of like how you always know you're doing something wrong, but you never really know when you're doing something right. To be totally transparent, most of my life, I never really struggled with confidence. It never really made sense to me when someone said, I wish I had more confidence, or if only I had more confidence, I could do this thing. But as of recently, that's changed a lot, and I've started to struggle a bit with my own confidence. My whole life, I had something that was my thing. Maybe it's because of my ADD and how I became hyperfixated on things, or maybe it's because I was raised in a household where my family pushed me to pursue things that I love. But whatever it was that made me the way I am, I think it pushed me. Thinking back on my passions such as skating, paintball, lacrosse, snowboarding, video games, or photography, whatever it was at whatever period of life I was in, I always had something that was my thing. And that thing always gave me confidence. Doing these passions, growing at them, pushed me to get better, pushed me to learn, and pushed me to want to be the best. And directly by doing that, by having the urge to be the best, I always found confidence in my passions. Don't get me wrong, I know I was never the best at any of these things, but in my mind, I had the drive to become the best, and in that I found a little bit of confidence. I also think that it pushed me in a lot of different ways, from my work, my personal relationships, my lifestyle. All of it in one way or another directly played off of my confidence. And with all that being said, I also know how lucky I am. I found a formula that worked for me and made me feel really good at a really young age. For me, it was find something you love to do it a lot, become as good as you can at it, and in return, voila, there's your confidence. And that formula works great when things are going good, but what about when life throws a curveball at you? Well, that curveball came to me quickly in the form of an accident on August 21st, 2021. The worst day of my life. The day I was stripped of every bit of confidence I had built over the past 28 years. Now, the accident and what actually happened, well, that's a story for another time, but I want to note that I had gone my entire life never understanding how people didn't have confidence or lack thereof, and I became that person overnight. I was at my lowest point. These things I would preoccupy my time with, these passions that I loved so much, went from being my entire life to becoming physically unobtainable. It has been a couple of years since that day, and a lot has changed. I am a wildly different person in so many different ways, some for the good and some for the bad, and life has slowed down a lot, and with that, my creative process has also slowed down. And for a while, that was so frustrating that I stopped taking photos, stopped making videos, and felt like I could never get back to doing what I loved. But recently, I've noticed a little bit of a change. Subconsciously, I think I found myself reaching for confidence in other areas of my life. From being an uncle, being a better friend or better family member, or just trying to come to peace with this new way of life. I can say that by doing this, I have found that this slower way of documenting is okay. Although not ideal for my brain or what I want to be doing, it is okay to not be the best, the fastest, or the most technical creative out there. Instead, it has made me a little bit more confident in picking up the camera again, which in return has helped bring a little bit more confidence into so many other areas of my life. So how exactly does confidence and a billboard in Times Square correlate exactly? Well, when Linktree had reached out to me about this campaign, I won't lie, I was at a super low point and I hadn't been creating much. I've had a lot of opportunities fall through the cracks due to my injury and my physical capabilities. But the timing of this billboard and Linktree reaching out seemed to be a little bit of a sign from the universe to say, hey, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. A lot of things lined up in order to make this trip happen. First off, my fiance works full-time and typically I would need help getting around, especially in a place like New York City. I wouldn't have been able to go on my own, but coincidentally, my sister-in-law had just moved to New York City, so not only did I have somewhere to stay, but I also had people that could help me get around. Secondly, I had also just finished up an important orthopedic surgery in my healing journey. This surgery was one that we had been waiting for some time and kind of waiting for the right time to do it, and it had just come as I was learning about the billboard opportunity. And third, Linktree not only had the billboard going up in Times Square, but they also had an event going on in the city. They offered for me to come shoot the event, and that way I could see the billboard in person. With all three of these things lining up the way it did, it gave me the confidence and the opportunity to fly out to New York City and experience this moment in person. After years of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lifelong passion, I checked off a billboard in Times Square from my bucket list. That's me. That's so cool. It's you.
Achievement, man. Thank you, man. No problem. I appreciate it a lot. It's pretty crazy. I don't believe it.
Now, the one thing I want you to take away from this video is not that you need a billboard in Times Square to gain some confidence. I want you to realize what keeping an eye out for your passion can do, and how that can bring you a little bit of confidence. Find those things that bring you joy, the things that make you feel happy or alive, and continue to do those things as often as you can. I can promise, by pursuing a passion or a hobby that brings you joy, you will find happiness in so many other areas of your life. For me, that passion is photography. For you, it could be sitting in the sun, journaling, painting, or cooking. Whatever it is, do that thing like your life depends on it, because for me, at the end of the day, it sort of does. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it this far and you could consider subscribing, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.